So what are some things that solopreneurs do not need to be spending their precious energy and time on? I bet you can tell me if you're here live or if you're watching on the replay, you know what things are sapping your energy and aren't moving that income needle. You know what they are, because everybody is telling you you need to have things like a website, or you need an email list, or you need a fancy funnel, or you need a fancy landing page, or you need all of these back end things. You don't need those things. What you need is an offer and an interested person and a way to get paid. If you have Stripe or PayPal, that's all you need. You don't need anything fancier than that. Let's see. Laura says each of those pieces has pieces in them that do not seem as easy as you suggest. Social media content. So I can only speak from my own experience, Laura, but I've never done much on social media in my whole 10 years of business. I'm doing a little experiment right now on Instagram, but I have not really gotten clients that way. That's not how people have come to me. They have come to me through, oh, I see what you're saying, but content seems to be the way to get in front of a potentially interested person. I'll answer that. So for me, the way that most people have come to me is by seeing a live training, attending a live training, or watching the replay, finding a video of me on YouTube. I don't consider YouTube social media. It's a search engine. Or they have come through my books on Amazon, or potentially referred to me by other people. I have never posted regularly on Facebook, even when that was a thing. I have never done that on Instagram. I'm not a social media person. Like I said, I'm doing a little experiment on Instagram right now just to see what happens for fun. Again, for fun, not because I feel like I have to. But I would say the way to get in front of a potentially interested person is the way that you want to connect with people. How do you want to connect with people? If you want to connect with people through one-to-one interactions, then use a method that allows you to do that. When I first started, literally the first day that I started as a coach, I emailed everyone in my Gmail contacts list individually, and I told them that I was now a life coach and this was how I was helping people. And if you are interested, here's how to talk to me. Or if you're not interested, can you please pass this on to someone who might be interested? So you need to listen to yourself and ask yourself, what is the way that I want to connect with people? Not what some guru is saying is going to work, but how do I actually want to show up in this world? Am I someone who likes speaking on a stage like this? Do I enjoy teaching people? Do I enjoy sharing something in this kind of format? If I do, then this is what I'm going to try and see how it goes. I'll do one of these a week. That's the kind of thing that I did too. When you say content, there was one other piece that I used in the first few months of my business because I had started it before I became a coach, which I had an audio blog. I had a 5-minute audio that went out to a handful of people every day at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So this audio blog also helped me get in front of a few people who were interested, but it was very easy because I found it fun to do. It didn't feel like work, certainly. Let's see, a lot of my effort right now is trying to connect with the potentially interested people, trying to find the methods that will work, not listening to gurus, just trying to find something that works. What I hear and what you're saying, and I so appreciate your contributions. It really means a lot to me that you're being this honest, Laura. What I'm hearing there is a lot of seeking, a lot of searching, instead of saying, this is how I want to connect with people, whatever that is, and then doing that, just doing that, doing that, doing that. If you spent your time and energy that you have available to you every day just focused on the connection piece in a way, one way that you enjoy, you will start to see results. It's inevitable, because when you're doing something that you enjoy doing, people pick up on that. They hear the enthusiasm, feel the enthusiasm behind whatever the marketing channel is. So, Laura, if you want to share what you enjoy doing, that would be great, because right now it sounds like you are trying to find something that works, instead of saying, I'm just using myself as an example. I enjoy giving live talks. I love teaching people. I love sharing things. I love making an offer at the end of these trainings. So I'm going to do that until it works. That's it. Because that's me and that's what I do. Or it might be a situation where someone does enjoy posting on social media, and so they say, you know what, I'm going to keep posting on Instagram, and I'm going to learn about the platform because I really enjoy the platform, and I'm going to just utilize it until it works because I love it. I have a very good friend who was on Instagram for her business, didn't enjoy it, is really good at writing things like that, but just didn't like Instagram. So she decided to try LinkedIn, because she thought, I think the people who are interested in what I do might be on LinkedIn. She became a LinkedIn star because she loved being on the platform. She loved figuring it out. She loved doing deep dives into what worked and what didn't, and how she could connect with people there in certain ways. And she got very creative because it was a creative, fun outlet for her. It didn't feel like a task that she checked off her to-do list. We have to come at this from another direction. Is that coming through? We can't just keep searching for something that works. The decision is, I am going to do what I enjoy until it does work, because it's going to. I've decided. I've made the decision that this is going to work. That is how we not only protect our energy, but energize ourselves. Yes, doing live talks, but don't love them. Don't enjoy posting on social media. I'll have to keep searching for the like. I'm glad that you said haha there. I wouldn't say that you need to do a lot of searching, because that is also an expenditure of energy that I don't really feel is necessary. I think you already know. And this isn't just for Laura, but this is everybody who is watching live or on the replay. I think you already know how you like to connect with people. I think you're just afraid it won't work. That's what I think. And the truth is, if there is a way that you like to put your offer in front of interested people, then all you have to do is that. And eventually it will work, because you've decided that it will. Again, we have to come at this from a different side. If we want to actually earn more while working less, or I would even say not working at all, but having a good time, we have to come at it from this angle of, I'm going to enjoy myself. Because not only is that what life is for, frankly, is for enjoyment and fun and excitement and feeling like you're living as your full self, it also happens to be the magnet for people. Because if you are just showing up somewhere to show up somewhere, people will feel it and they won't buy. They will say bye-bye. So allow yourself this freedom to do the things that you like doing and forget everything else. Focus that precious energy on creating an offer you love and connecting with people in a way that you love, and income becomes inevitable, and the work part dissolves. The complexity dissolves. The need to keep trying different methods or creating different offers at different price points, all of that just goes away. It goes away, because you suddenly are very tuned in to who you are and how you're showing up in this world and what you are bringing to people and the value that you have, all of that becomes very clear and very obvious and very, very simple. If you feel like things are overly complicated, if you feel like, again, going back to Laura's comment, that you're searching and trying and doing and all of these things and nothing is working, I want you to get still for a moment and be with yourself and be honest and say, what is it that I really want to be doing with my precious life, with my precious time? What is it that I want to be doing? How do I want to be living? As I mentioned earlier, I have engaged in fairly radical simplicity over the last 20 years. Some of my friends think I'm a little nutty because of some of the choices that I've made, but that's just life. And that's the way I've wanted to live it. And I realized very recently that my business had become complicated in a way that didn't fit that. So I've slimmed it down, I've pared it down to one offer. I'm back to one offer that I really love, which I'll tell you about in a moment. There's nothing wrong with erring on the side of simplicity, fun, creative, energizing. You're allowed to do that. This is your life. This is the way that you are choosing to earn an income. So why would we ever do anything that we didn't want to be doing? It's not necessary. And I know there are a million messages out there saying that you have to do things in a certain way or else you won't be successful. I'll give you one more example of this that isn't mine. So a few years ago, I was working for another coach as part of my business as an accountability coach for a group of her clients. And she was teaching a fairly rigid method for client attraction. And I remember very distinctly that most of the people in this group that I was working with didn't really enjoy this process, but they were taking the steps anyway. And it was working for them. They were gaining traction, but most of them didn't follow through because it wasn't their strategy. It wasn't something that they felt like they owned, if you will. It didn't feel like something that was coming from them. It didn't feel like it was being created through them. It felt like it was being imposed upon them by this coach who meant well. She definitely meant well. She was trying to help them. But in the end, most of them didn't continue. And that was a very instructive example for me because it proved to me that yes, things can get results, but if we don't enjoy them, or if they feel too complicated, or if they feel like a chore, it's not going to matter. We're not going to stay with it. And that's where I'm trying to get to here is if you want to actually earn more while working less, you have to start with what is draining your energy, get rid of it. Just stop right now. Just stop and focus on what energizes you. Focus on what brings you joy. Focus on those only two pieces of that equation. One offer in front of one interested person can lead to income. And decide how you want to show up and say, I'm simply going to make this work because it's what I want to do. So therefore, it simply will. Has there been something that you've taken away from this talk that is going to impact you? Because we can take in information all day long. We can listen to other people. But until we really allow ourselves to sit with what we're learning and put it into practice somehow, then it doesn't really mean a whole lot. So my hope is that from this training, you will start to see where you are spending time and energy that you don't need to be anymore, and that you will put your energy, your precious energy, towards the things you enjoy doing, towards one offer that you can fully get behind, towards one way of connecting with people, again, that you can fully get behind, and just repeat that. Repeat that. The new offer that I am focusing on is called my 28-day Simplicity Playbook. It is brand new. I have done a few of the playbooks already for a handful of clients who have loved them. And the premise is very simple. We have a conversation. You answer a few questions. We have a conversation. And then I prepare a fully customized 28-day plan for you based on all of the things that I have been talking about in this training, based on what you want to offer, not someone's idea for you, but what you want to offer. Marketing and connecting with people in a way that excites you, that is fun for you. I would never, ever, ever create some sort of strategic plan for someone that imposes my will and my ideas on them. I would just never do that, because what is the point of that? It's never going to work. And so this is why this Simplicity Playbook is so crucial, because it will allow you to follow something over a month, then repeat it the next month. If it's working, if not, you can make little adjustments here and there. This is, to me, one of the missing pieces for most solopreneurs, is that they are searching and kind of winging it all the time, instead of, as I said before, honing in on what makes you happy. What do you want to be doing? How do you want to be spending your time? So if this is of interest to you, I encourage you to click the link here. There's a button here that says Get Your 28-Day Simplicity Playbook, and check it out. I will send it out after this talk is over as well. And let me be an example to you of someone who started her business very simply, made some detours along the way, recognized the fact that I was overcomplicating things and I was spending my energy on things that I didn't enjoy so much anymore, and is now coming back to this simple equation and to this fact that we are allowed to spend our time and energy in ways that we want to, and that the income we desire can come from that much more easily than forcing ourselves into a box that doesn't fit. I don't ever think we have to work ever again. In fact, I don't think that. I know that. We don't have to work ever again. We can be who we are. We can offer something that comes from the immense value and talent that we have intrinsically, and through things that we have learned and experienced. We can bring that to people. And as someone I met years ago said, money is like thank you notes. That's what it is. You're not taking something from someone. They are thanking you for providing that value to them. So when I share that equation of offer plus interested person equals income, the piece that's underneath that is the immense value that you bring to someone and their absolute willingness to thank you in the form of payment. And I don't happen to see that in any way at all as work. That to me is what we're here to do. Money is just the symbol, the way that we show that we appreciate someone. And I don't know, when that person said that to me years ago, it really changed my perspective about what this is all about. Yes, it's about creating an independent income. Yes, it's about having more freedom. Yes, it's about earning more without having a cap on our income because we're getting a paycheck every couple of weeks. But it's about so much more than that. It's about being you. It's about expressing yourself. It's about living your life in a way that feels truly authentic and aligned with how you want to be every day, what you want to wake up and do every day. So I want to thank you for being here for this training. I'm going to be doing one training a week for the foreseeable future, at least most weeks. That's my plan, called the Simplicity Sessions, and I hope to see you at more of them. Thank you so much if you joined live. I really appreciate it. And Laura, I appreciate your interaction so much. And if you watch this on the replay, thank you for taking the time. Again, please feel free to click the link below here on the 28-day Simplicity Playbook. And I would love to create one for you so that you can have the same kind of freedom and simplicity in your business that I desire for you. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I will talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.